So, in my software development journey, I encountered a significant problem when it came to creating my CV, or also known as a resume for attaching to job applications, to job postings and stuff, and so on. So, this issue is something that many people face, and the common advice found on platforms like YouTube suggests that creating resumes in various formats, such as PDF, image, for example, JPEG, PNG, and HTML site, or Google Docs. So, for example, we can see that the popular YouTuber from, I don't know from which country, but he's the YouTuber Pirate King. So he shared this resume using doc created by with docs.google, but of course it can be exported as PDF and maybe images. So yeah, so people typically use tools to generate their resumes of these formats. So these are like formats in which people generate and attach these PDFs to job offerings. For example, to create a PDF resume, they might use programs to generate the current and then content and then export it as a PDF. So, for example, they can use such programs as as so these tools are available on platforms like Mac OS, Windows, and other desktop applications. Additionally, there are cloud-based resume builders as these Resume.io, Enhance CV, Resume Builder. So sites like Resume.io let you fill in your experience, name, certifications, etc., and then choose from formats like PDF, image, HTML site, or Google Docs. So once the CV is generated, you can often customize it. You can change the color to green, blue, or orange. So these sites provide the form-based graphical user interface in order to basically drag and drop different options to align. For example, put the skills on the right side or on the left, put the experience at the very bottom or very top. So you can drag and drop, you can customize it, you can adjust colors, positioning, and yeah, so it's really customizable. See, these sites are really customizable, but they have their drawbacks. So the problems with resume builder sites is that these resume builder sites came with limitations. They might restrict the number of CVs you can generate for free. For instance, some sites allow you to export one CV unless you pay for additional versions. So personally, I've used some of these sites, but I don't want to pay because I'm not a millionaire. Why should I have to pay for something so simple? There are additional problems with these tools. Many professional software engineers suggest that you shouldn't rely on just one or two versions of a CV. Tailoring your CV for each job posting increases your chances of landing an interview. This means that you need to frequently update your resume to match different job requirements, which can be time consuming. So imagine you took this, for example, resume.io, start building, and then export it to PDF. And then, so for example, you're applying to Java job, you created a resume tailored for Java, but you can you can see that you are actually experienced enough to, for example, apply for C# role as well. So what you do, you go to resume.io, you try to change the resume, but you want to keep both versions, right? So you do not want to delete your old Java CV. You need to create another one, for example, for C#, and put it together, right? But these sites do not allow you to to create multiple CVs simultaneously. So what can you do? You can pay them money, for example, I don't know, 10 or 20 bucks. I don't really know their price offerings, but it's really stupid to pay just for maybe once a year, once 2 years to generate a CV. So it's really stupid idea, I think, but for citizens from USA it's not really a big problem because they have a lot of money. So spending extra $100 to $200, I think it's not really problem for them. But for people from Ukraine, from India, and other countries, poor countries where people do not earn a lot of money, we need to think twice to to pay for it, or just spend the money on really stuff that really matters. So the problem is that, and the problem, so if you want, you need to spend more money. But imagine that you bought the, for example, resume builder, right, site. You you subscribed to this paid subscription, right? You use your paid subscription, you pay each month or each year, and then what happens? You create, for example, 5 CVs and attach them to multiple job offerings or job applications. But the problem with this approach is that I believe that 3 or 5 CVs are not enough for you to for me, for example, to really be successful. So I think that we, at the very end, we should have a lot of CVs tailored specifically for each job postings in order to maximize our chances to basically to be put into process, right? So you need to, so there is a program that automatically scans the applicant's CV for keywords, and if you have not enough these keywords, so for example, the job offerings wants you to be proficient in Java, Docker, AWS, and GCP. So I think I should specifically customize my CV in order to match at least 75% or 80%. So yeah, so I think that ideal situation is that I need to have one CV per one job posting. But if I use such tools as resume.io, imagine how many of CVs should I create manually in order to increase my chances just to get a job, just to get into process. It's just one. This is a single step in order to become, to just get into process. It's not meant that if you generate the CV, good CV, then you already have a job. No, there are a lot of steps you need to follow to pass interview, to pass coding interview, to pass system design interview, and stuff like that. So it's not really convenient to use these sites, I think. So just manually editing your resume and posting is just a bullshit. I think for software engineers it's not appropriate at all. You waste your time doing not optimal things. And the second problem, or I don't know how many problems I already described you, but the problem, another one, is that imagine that you use resume builder website to build your resume, right? You built your, for example, you subscribed to their paid subscription, you created 5 resumes, for example, for Scala 3, for Java, for C#, for Python. and maybe different versions for each specific platform, right? You created a set of resumes on this resume builder website, and what I faced recently is that I was not able to access this resume builder site like at all. So it's fantastic, right? I paid for it, I generated my CVs, and now they are gone. I cannot access them in any way. This is fantastic. But yeah, what are options? What are options for me? Basically, I already have a PDFs, right? So when I apply for a job, I'm not giving them the link to this website. I use such format, PDF or image. So I export these PDFs in I export my CVs into PDF or image formats or other formats, and then just apply to a job offering. But what's the problem is that when I need to change my CV, I need to go to this PDF and manually copy paste to another website, for example resume.io. So imagine that this site is unhealthy. I cannot even access it. Anyhow, I changed my VPN. I tried multiple times, multiple days. So this is the problem. I'm facing this problem. 1 week, I cannot access my resumes. What I have is just generated PDF. So I go to Resume Builder, generate a PDF, and I have only PDFs. And now, what are options? I just can copy paste a lot of stuff from my CV to, for example, this site. But it's just vendor lock-in. This is basically vendor lock-in, because imagine that this site will be unhealthy and you didn't really you generated a lot of PDF, a lot of CVs, for example 10 of them, to meet specific requirements again, and this site becomes unhealthy. And maybe you exported some of the versions of your resumes into PDF, so what you have is PDFs. So you go to this website and this becomes unhealthy. So it's really problematic with them. They want from us money, but they are faulty by their nature. We cannot even solve these problems with these sites, using these sites. So that's why I do not use these websites anymore, due to these problems I described and some other problems that I do not want to show you because of the time, of course. So if we say that these are no longer valid options, so what are options for us in order to generate our CVs? We can go and use Google Docs, right? So here is the CV from Pirate King, YouTuber. He shared this beautiful CV. But what is the problem with this CV, with the format? I think a CV is good enough to apply for specific company. But what is the problem with this approach? I think the problem is that we are mixing the representation and the data itself. So these, for example, skills, C#, .NET, Java, English, Korean, and stuff like that, all of these are data. It's data specifically attached to a specific person that is experienced in these things. This is also data, experience, and this is also data. So this is the pure data that is shown here, but the problem with that is that we also have representation of this data. So these all alignments that, for example, LinkedIn is in this position, the pirate king is centered, skills are at the very top, experience goes after. So this is alignment to the right, this is centric, this is on the left. What if we need to modify it somehow? So for example, you've heard maybe some company X, you know, from people who are talking, who was their employees, they talk that they want their CV applicants to post to for example to put their, for example, I don't know, education at the very top.